Brittany. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are doing our first canning project of the year. My canning shelf looks really empty, so we are going to do some baked beans today since we have no fresh produce ready. So we are using navy beans, just regular dried beans. And this recipe is super simple, super easy. The longest part of it is the canning process. You have to pressure can them for 70 minutes, and but it's so worth it. We are going to get started rinsing these. I am going to soak them a little bit. I did not do that last year, and I kind of regretted that I didn't, but so I'm going to soak them a little bit today because I have to fry up the bacon first too. And we're gonna measure this out. I'm gonna do half a cup of beans per pint, and I'm not entirely sure if I need all 4 pounds of these. That's why I'm gonna measure them out as I put them in the strainer to be washed, so that way I can figure out how many pints I'm gonna make today. I might use all 4 of them. We'll just see. Let's get started. Okay, so I think last year I used 2 pounds and it wasn't enough. So one of these bags is 4 pints. I'm probably going to end up doing, I think I'm going to do 3 bags. That way I'll have enough to last. And now that I know that, I'm just going to go ahead and pour them in here. So we're going to get these nice and rinsed. And you want to look for rocks in here too. I don't find them that often, but you do sometimes. And that's not something you want to bite into. Now I'm going to put these in the bowl so they can soak. And I have warm water here, and I'm just filling this bowl. It's not like a certain height or anything, a certain amount of water that I'm doing. I'm just doing it enough to cover these. That way they can all soak really well. It's about that much, just about ½ inch covering them. Now we are going to go over here and we're going to start frying our bacon. My recipe says last year I did on average about a slice of bacon per jar. I'm just going to fry up some bacon. If it's more, perfect. If it's a little less, perfect. Since they're baked beans, you really just want that bacon flavor. If you don't want to, then don't add it. That's just for our preference. I'm using this bacon right here. If I average a slice of bacon per jar, I'll probably have to use this whole thing because I think there is about 13, 14 slices in here, so there's no point in just saving 2 slices of bacon. And I thought hickory would taste really good in here. Maple would probably taste really good. I think any kind of sweeter bacon would, but it's all up to you. If you want to go like a saltier route, you can. Just remember, whenever you do can something, the flavor is enhanced. I'm just going to go ahead and chop this up before it's cooked. That way it kind of saves me that step in the long run. I'm going to turn this up to medium-high heat and we will be back when this is done. And I've got my new lids. All these jars are sterilized. I do that at the end of every canning season and at the beginning of canning season. And I am not gonna boil these or get them hot first since I am raw packing. Now we are going to do half a cup per pint. I'm using regular mouth pints just because of the fact that these are just going to more than likely just be poured into a pot and cooked, right? I love wide mouths for things like jalapenos and pickles and stuff that you're gonna have to like try to reach in and get or get with a spoon or whatever. So that's why I'm using these for this. And you could use quarts too. It just depends on how much you're gonna use at one time. Sometimes we use a pint, sometimes we use 2. It just depends on the occasion. I do have a canning kit that I got this funnel from. It is awesome. I will link it down below in my description if y'all are interested. It is my Amazon affiliate link, and I love it. It is a savior for canning. It comes with jar grabbers and bubble popper and your little magnet so you can pick up your seals with. All kinds of stuff. Y'all, I don't know what I was thinking. I did my measurements way wrong, so I should be getting 24 jars of this. I'm gonna can these up first and then go from there. I might have to do another round. All right, our bacon is now done. I just took that off the burner. And we are gonna do our 1/4 cup of brown sugar per pint. And I will put this recipe down below in my description. That way, if you would like it, or if you would like to write it, take it down, or copy it, or whatever, you can. And notice I'm not packing it either. I'm just kind of scraping off the top. It's not a huge deal. And I'm using light brown sugar. It's just because what I could find. I would prefer to use dark brown sugar, but that is up to preference. So now we are doing 1/4 cup of ketchup per pint. I'm using the ketchup that I canned with y'all last year, if y'all saw that video. Oh, let me see if I can get this open. Okay. Okay. Now we're doing 1/4 teaspoon of mustard. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it adds just enough. So now we're gonna add our onions. I have them chopped about like that. 1/4 cup per jar. Now the recipe that I wrote down from what I did last time, I put 1/2 cup, but I'm pretty sure I didn't because these are pints. And that is a lot of onion per pint. I'm just kind of doing it approximate. You know, it's a little more than 1/4 cup, but these are going to cook down. Now I'm gonna go chop up one more onion. All right, my tiny helper's here to help me now. She says she's done playing and she wants to cook some. So she is gonna help me put these onions in here. See where the green funnel is? Can you put that in there? Can you reach it? Good job.
It's your turn.
It's my turn? Okay.
Now it's my turn.
Now it's your turn. Okay. You got it?
Whee!
Good job. All right, now you can do these 3 all by yourself since they're closer to you. Put them in the green funnel, that way you don't... There you go.
The only person I thought I'd get along with was Caligula. He's super nice with me. He's a real man, unlike Trip.
Okay.
Whee! After wee!
Good job, bud.
It should be great from the start. We should be friends from the beginning and then more.
I love for her to help me do this because I love for her to learn. It's so good for her.
That's your turn.
It's my turn?
No, it's my
I think you can do that one.
That's our turn.
That's okay. That's all we need.
I think I'm single because of my temper and my personality.
Okay, so put it in the jar. Careful. There you go. Okay. You want me to do the rest? Okay, careful, careful, careful. Come on. You playing with the camera? Okay, it is half a teaspoon. Yes.
I'm going to.
Watching Lady work this fish market.
Careful.
This is a woman
Put it in this one.
who knows who she is and what she wants.
Oh, we are sugar. Sorry.
It's okay.
This is definitely a chopping station
Okay.
here. She's proving that she's a very capable woman. And that's the kind of woman that I want to be around. Yes. I'm here for my future wife.
All right.
What I want the most in life is to settle down with someone and start a family. That's a must. So on the second energy.
Now, what I did last time was I put pepper in this recipe. I put a quarter of a teaspoon of pepper in each one of these. And it did end up picking up the pepper flavor quite a bit. I didn't mind it, but my little one didn't like it. She's, you know, obviously kind of sensitive to peppery heat, whatever. So I'm gonna leave that out this time, and whenever we go to use them, I can always add a little bit of pepper later. Okay, so what I just did was I added my bacon. I'm not entirely sure how much it caught because it stopped recording without me knowing. But that's about how much I put in each jar, about however much you can pick up with your fingertips by going like that. I did not measure it. It might have showed that part, it might not have, but I will go back and obviously see whenever I edit this. Now we are going to top it off with hot water. Okay, so this is the stick that I got with, see how it has measurements on it. If you were not confident on trying to figure out what an inch headspace is, you can just put it on this last notch. It'll show you. To me, it's right here at the bottom ring. That is my trick. Let me get you over here, that way you can see more than an eye, right? But I can't find my bubble popper. Wow. My bubble popper. So I'm going to use this because it is plastic and it came in the same kit. It's just like this, only thinner. It'll do the same job. Now we're going to top these off with hot water, just hot water out of my sink. I didn't boil it or anything. And I'm going to use the same exact temperature water out of my sink to put in my pressure canner here in just a few minutes.
Makes me imagine a future with her, and it's amazing. But it also opened up a floodgate of emotions. My mother died of cancer for a year and a half. She made it out okay, but it was very...
I put about 2 quarts of hot water in the canner. Okay, so I got this one way too full. It's almost all the way up to the top. You can kind of see it. So I'm just gonna kind of spoon some of that out. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go through these. And I'm just going to get all the bubbles out. And when you do that, that liquid level is gonna fall just a little bit most of the time. These haven't really changed a whole lot, which is a good thing. Well, when that would happen, you would just top that off with a little more water. Now you want to take vinegar, or you can just use water, whatever. And just wipe around all the rims, get all the sugar off. That way you get a good seal. Sorry about that. My little one decided to be the cameraman for a second. You're a big help, thank you. And it's good to get the greases off too. Like, see what's coming off the top. You don't want that, so that way it'll seal good.
No, ma'am. Come on. Go get your bowl. It's in my room.
Okay. So now you want to take your ring and your seal and just seal fingertip tight. Just like that. You don't want to crank down on it, because if you do, it's going to cause that, all that pressure in there is going to cause the seal to buckle.
We don't want that.
And we don't want that. Good job. And yes, you are going to have some siphoning most of the time. And that's okay too. Okay, so now it's time to load our canner. Hi, to get this started. And I will show y'all, but once the steam starts coming out of the vent of this, then I'm going to put the weight. I have a weight, I don't have a digital one, I guess you could say, or a gauge. So I'm gonna put the weight down at 10 pounds of pressure. And once I do that and it starts rattling, we're gonna set the timer for 70 minutes. I was not planning on doing this, but the beans that I have left over, I'm just gonna make something for dinner out of them. Throw something together. Usually I can do it, but let's see what I can come up with. So, I have my Instapot here. And all these have already soaked, they've already been washed. So I'm just gonna dump them in here. I'm gonna put some water in here. So we're gonna switch over for just a second and we're gonna put our weight on. It had a good steady stream. So once this starts rattling off and on, then I'm gonna set my timer. Okay, so I have my water in my beans. You can hear the pressure canner rattling. I want it to rattle a few times and then stop for a second, and a few times and stop for a second, and then that is whenever I'm gonna start my timer. So I just turned the heat down from high to about a 7, and usually that's just right. So my video stopped earlier, but I seasoned these with Cavender, garlic salt, and this bacon bean spice. If y'all have never used Adobe milling products, I recommend it. Go to their website. They've got a lot of good stuff. I use this in seasoning my beans all the time. So I've got this turned on just so it can start heating up. And then I'm going to chop up probably about, I don't know, probably about 4 cloves of garlic and probably a whole small onion to throw in here. You hear how the rattling, stopping, and starting? That's what you want. And on this onion, I'm just doing a rough chop. Toss it in here. See how it hasn't stopped rattling yet? I'm going to turn the heat down. Now I'm just doing a rough chop on this garlic. Now I'm gonna let this slow cook while that pressure cans, and we'll be back. Okay, so I have 8 minutes left on the pressure canner. I am checking on our beans. I did some in here earlier, but my phone was on the charger, and I added probably about 3 tablespoons of powdered chicken bouillon to this because I just felt like it needed some more flavor. I just took a sip of the broth. And since I'm not using a ham hock or bacon or anything, I felt like it really needed that. Let's show you what it looks like. Here we go. And yeah, there is a lot of onion in there. I chopped up one whole small one and put it in there. There's 4 cloves of garlic. Then we've got our seasonings. It smells really good. I think what I might do is I might actually leave the lid off for the last few minutes, so some of that broth can evaporate out of there a little bit. I don't really want it to be a soup. We'll be back in now 7 minutes when my alarm goes off for the canner. Alright, so my timer went off. We're going to come over here and turn our heat off. Let's turn it off and walk away. It will just slowly release pressure out of, let me show you. It's easier to show you this way. Out of this. Once that totally stops rattling, and I usually let it sit here for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes just to be safe. I take this off and I let it continue to lose pressure. So I put our beans on saute mode, that way they would actually boil. I need them to cook a little quicker, and they're still kind of crunchy. And we just turned our pressure can. So now all I'm waiting for is for these to finish, our pressure canner to come down to normal pressure, I guess. And then we've got 5 more jars to pressure can, but that's not going to happen until later. So we will be right back when everything's ready. Okay, now it's time to take off this weight. You can't hear anything. It's not rattling anymore. This is always the most nerve-wracking part for me though. Okay, hear it? Now it's releasing the rest of that pressure, and I'm going to let it sit for probably another 15 minutes or so and just make sure that all that air and all that pressure is out of here, and then we'll take the lid off. All the pressure has been let out. It's not coming up through the nozzle anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and take this lid off so I can get these jars out, and so I can get new water in here and everything. That way I can run these through before it gets dark. Since it takes over an hour to pressure can these. It's a project, but it's okay. It's so worth it. always, always, always open it away from you because you do not want that steam to fly up in your face. They look good. And there is our baked beans. And these also come with the kit I was telling y'all about earlier in this video. These are a godsend. I love them. Pour this water out, cool it down because these are now at room temperature because they've been sitting here for so long. And that way I can put these in cool to room temperature water also and then bring them up to a boil and do the same thing over again. All right, y'all, the beans are done. I've got 26 minutes left over here on the canner. And that's it for today. I will catch y'all next time. Y'all have a good night.